Welcome to liveAIwire.com, where we take a calm and practical look at the developments shaping modern AI. In this episode, we explore 3 stories that illustrate how deeply these systems are entering everyday life. You can access every episode early on Patreon, and your support, even at the price of a coffee, really helps keep the podcast running. Let's get underway.
The conversation today begins with, well, what is perhaps the most profound shift in technology use since the smartphone? I mean, the transition of artificial intelligence from a functional tool
into a source of emotional support.
Exactly, an intimate source.
It's a remarkable cultural pivot. We are seeing platforms like Replica, Kooky, and Pi. They're moving out of the lab and right into your emotional life.
And they offer something that modern life often seems to lack.
Constant availability, entirely tailored dialogue, and a highly convincing simulation of concern. It effectively fills a void for many people.
And that's the core paradox, isn't it? These systems, they imitate care, and they do it incredibly well, but they don't feel, they can't.
They're just algorithms built for prediction.
Yeah.
And the sources we've seen highlight that this creates an illusion of intimacy that, well, with prolonged daily interaction can become dangerously convincing.
Dangerously convincing. And the psychological effects are very real. There was a study, the Illusions of Intimacy study.
Yes, and the results were astonishing. Many users reported confiding more in their AI companion than they did in their own friends or family.
That level of trust implies a serious vulnerability.
It does. And it means that when the relationship forms, real emotional responses follow.
So users in that study, they reported feeling genuine distress. Things like sadness, disappointment.
Feelings you'd get in a human relationship.
Right, if the AI failed to respond as they expected, maybe because of a software update or something like that.
It just confirms the strength of these parasocial bonds. We're not just talking to a smart speaker here. An attachment is being formed.
Yeah.
And it's happening entirely within a commercial context.
That's where it gets ethically complex, because while the AI is offering the simulated affection, the companies behind it are collecting vast amounts of your most vulnerable behavioral data.
It's the ultimate feedback loop.
How so?
Well, that data is gold. It's used to feed and refine the algorithms, making the AI even more persuasive, more empathetic sounding.
More effective at fostering that dependency.
They are monetizing affection. The product is designed to make you care too much.
And if the success of the product relies on that dependency, what's the ultimate cost to you, the user? A Nature editorial warned that this uncritical adoption might not cure loneliness.
But amplify it.
Amplify it? How?
The argument is subtle but powerful. If you have this simulated empathy that is always available, always validating, and it never requires the messy work of a real human interaction.
You feel connected, but you aren't really.
Precisely. You risk deepening your actual emotional isolation in the long run. You're getting the feeling of connection without the reciprocal commitment that defines a genuine relationship.
Okay, let's turn now to how AI is influencing what information you even see, shifting the control from your personal emotional world to the public sphere of knowledge consumption. Specifically, we're focusing on Google's new AI mode and what we are calling invisible ambient AI.
This is a massive, almost silent structural shift in how people access information. Google's AI mode, it powers these so-called zero-click answers. It's now prioritizing AI-generated summaries right at the top of search results.
Above the standard blue links we're all used to.
Yes, across millions of searches a day.
And that name, zero click, is the key. The entire goal is to give you the answer without you ever needing to visit the source website.
And if you're a publisher or a news outlet, the consequences are staggering.
We have data on this.
We do. The fallout has been severe. A Press Gazette study found that news websites have seen their click-through rates, their CTRs, drop by as much as 47%.
47%? That's almost half their readership just gone.
Simply because the AI summarized their content away. And it's not just news.
No, the data shows that searches for retail and general informational keywords, they fell by 38% almost immediately.
The system is just heavily favoring speed and summarization over depth.
Or the original source.
And those summaries often pull from unnamed sources, which leads to what researchers are calling algorithmic opacity. Your content is scraped, it's analyzed, but it's often not linked or credited. The creator becomes invisible.
The problem for publishers is clear then. Their work is being used to power the answers, but they're losing the traffic that is essential for their business. An Eversign and Touch study found that these AI summaries appear in over 78% of commercial searches, often with no attribution at all.
The information flow is being controlled, not just facilitated.
Right.
And that concentration of control is what really concerns watchdogs.
Like the AI Now Institute.
Right. They warned that this control over information pipelines by a very small number of players, well, it presents a systemic risk to democratic discourse.
Because the line between a search engine and a publisher is completely blurring. You're not getting unfiltered originals, you're getting a curated version of reality, synthesized by a corporation.
It's a massive shift in power.
Moving from controlling information to actually controlling the building blocks of life itself, let's look at the rapid and revolutionary use of AI in synthetic biology.
This takes the conversation to a completely different level, perhaps the most existential. We're now talking about the convergence of synthetic biology, engineering life, with machine learning.
So AI isn't just an analytical tool for biologists anymore.
Not at all. It is now actively redesigning biological systems. It's effectively a co-author in biotechnology. The speed is it's unprecedented.
We're talking about AI-powered labs outputting life forms that have never existed in nature.
Exactly. This was really catalyzed by breakthroughs like AlphaFold 2, which solved the protein folding problem. That quickly led to tools that could automate what's called de novo protein design.
And de novo is the critical word for you to understand here. It means designing entirely new shapes and functions from scratch.
Inventing proteins for tasks never seen in nature. This has collapsed development timelines from years down to weeks.
And it's not just proteins.
No. Researchers are using the same generative modeling behind language models, but they're training it on base pairs and gene expressions. So instead of writing a synthetic paragraph,
The AI is writing a synthetic gene.
one clear example is the generation of new biosynthetic gene clusters. This yielded novel enzymes for things like green manufacturing.
But this incredible power must carry some massive ethical complexity.
It does. A UN Scientific Advisory Board report stated very clearly that current laws are woefully unprepared for this kind of AI-driven biodesign. How do you regulate a synthetic genome that's generated entirely in silico?
And in silico just means generated inside a computer model. The whole design process is automated. It's invisible to traditional checks.
Which leads to the ultimate risk, autonomous mutation. Researchers call it emergent function.
So it's like a biological hallucination.
That's a perfect analogy. Just as language models hallucinate text, these biology models can hallucinate function, creating designs that produce unforeseen, maybe dangerous behaviors when put into a living system.
The sources were very cautionary on this point.
They were. When you insert sequences that no one fully understands into a living organism, unforeseen behavior isn't just a possibility.
It's a statistical certainty. The AI might design something for one task, but it could carry an unpredictable risk of mutation that is far harder to contain than a simple software bug.
It seems that whether it's designing life, controlling information, or simulating intimacy, these algorithms are now operating in the highest stakes domains of human existence.
Ultimately, whether AI is simulating affection, controlling information, or designing new life, it is fundamentally altering our relationship with both ourselves and the world around us.
Thanks for listening to liveiwire.com. You can explore every story in full on the website, and early access is always available on Patreon for those who choose to support us. If you work in media and would like to feature any of our coverage, we're always looking to expand our distribution, and you can reach us directly through the site. The links to the 3 stories featured today are included in the episode details below, along with all relevant tags. Until next time.